Alright, hello everybody, I'm CosmykTheDolfyn. It's great to be here. I hope that you'll all enjoy this. This is a game that certainly fits in the horrible block of our marathon, which is basically the entire marathon, and we're also going to leave snow on, so we're going to have that nice winter theme. But we're a little bit behind schedule, so let's just get right into the run, shall we? So here we go. 3, 2, 1, start the time. So this is a very interesting game just in general. So this is an actual Game Boy Advance game that is entirely in 3D. This is not any 2D sprites that you are seeing, some shenanigans going on there. This is actual 3D on the Game Boy Advance. Now, how did that come about? Well, this game was developed by a little company called Puppeteer Games. And Puppeteer originally decided that they were going to port Quake to the Game Boy Advance. And they made a demo that was the entirety of Quake playable on the Game Boy Advance in 3D. But nobody wanted to buy it, so that was a little bit of a waste of time. So then they retooled that into a 3D, not actually a Grand Theft Auto, but a Grand Theft Auto-like game, and started shopping that around, saying, hey, we've got this original game that is full 3D, that is basically Grand Theft Auto on the Game Boy Advance. And everybody said, wow, cool, we don't want to buy it. So they kept shopping that demo around, and that demo went nowhere. Finally, the IP holders of Need for Speed said, that's really interesting, your 3D Grand Theft Auto game. Can you quickly just port all of the assets of this 4-year-old Need for Speed game that was a PC exclusive to the Game Boy Advance? Just dump all the assets from that PC game really quickly into your engine and just release it as fast as possible instead of, doing any quality testing on how it's worked out. And they said, sure, we could do that. So that is how Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed wound up on the Game Boy Advance. So with that very quick turnaround time and saying, hey, this was a Quake demo that got tooled into a demo of a Grand Theft Auto-like game, that quality control just kind of went out of the window. I did not want to change the difficulty. And what ends up happening is that they really set up some big issues. The biggest one, the first one here, is that if you leave the car in first gear while you have the vehicle in manual instead of automatic, it just accelerates forever. It only does this with one vehicle, the Moby Dick, so that's why this is all tracks Moby Dick. But we're just going to get really, really stinking fast because it's just driving around at the speed of sound. Rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to be. I'm driving Moby Dick. That is really on the honest goodness name of this car. So all of the cars in this game, are real Porsches, and the 976 Moby Dick was a car that Porsche released in the late 70s, specifically to not for daily driving, but as an actual race car. And yeah, so it just goes along really, really stinking fast. Unfortunate side effect of driving this fast is that we can't really we can't really control ourselves. Like, we can attempt to turn, but it's not really worth it. You just hope you bounce off the walls correctly and maintain your speed, because we're just going so much faster than, the game was designed to play at. Also, fun fact, I got this game into GDQ. I do not know how. I do not know why. I speedrun some very good games that have been speedrunning for 8 years. And this was the game that got into GDQ. So, SGDQ 2021, you will see this exact thing going on the main stream. It's been 6 years since I've been into GDQ, so this is interesting. The other fun thing about just how difficult it is to control is that it essentially turns into pinball instead of actual racing. And oh no, please, 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 please. Oh, so another fun thing about this game, with its very short development time, there is no reverse. It's a driving game where we have no reverse, and as you can tell, we're just kind of pinballing off of walls randomly. The issue is that if we hit a wall right, we'll get turned around backwards, and there's no reverse. So the race just ends. You can't get out of that situation. There's nothing you can do. You just sit there. Again, quality control was not done very well. The team at Pocketeer Games basically created an amazing engine that is pretty daggone impressive. It's real 3D on a Game Boy Advance, and oh, thank goodness, 360 no-scope! And then the team that owns Need for Speed basically just said, dump all the assets into this. We're not actually going to test if it's working right. We want it released in like 2 months, and that's what they did. So yeah, no, there's no reverse, and we accelerate forever. Please give your game devs sufficient testing time instead of just saying, wow, you developed a game engine. Dump the assets into this engine as fast as possible. Believe it or not, this is not the only Need for Speed game that was released in this engine. After this was a somewhat success, again, they released the 4-year-old Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed on Game Boy Advance of the engine as just a little test. They actually did more playable ports of Need for Speed Underground and Need for Speed Underground 2 and another Need for Speed game on the DS. All of those released on this exact same engine that originally again started out as Quake and then turned into a Grand Theft Auto clone. And those had a lot more quality control put into them. So, like, for example, you can go in reverse in those games. You also don't accelerate forever in those games. But, that's not fun. Let's play the game that you just accelerate forever, where you're bouncing randomly all over the place. And if you really want to lose your lunch, leave it in the first-person view, because this is how all video games should be played. But that is 3 races down, and now we're going on to the 4th race. There are a total of 5 races. Sometimes the game glitches out when accelerating. If you saw how wildly my speedometer bounced around, that's because that's a glitch. It doesn't like that. This game's also actually incredibly difficult. Whoa! I clipped into that wall and I got spat back out. That was new. That was cool. That's a good thing to happen. This game is incredibly difficult on normal settings if you don't leave the car in first gear, because the actual computers we're driving against are competent, and I'm pretty sure I just made I I I don't know what's going on. I think I clipped out of bounds and um, goofed up the track. Uh, okay, I cannot. Let's see. Can I please turn around? Please, 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 please. Let me turn around. Yes, I had just enough space to turn around. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. But this game is incredibly difficult if you aren't using this glitch and you're playing through the career mode. Like, it's a total crapshoot as to whether you win races or not. But, like, with this glitch where we're going incredibly fast, it's much easier to play through races. Although this race has certainly just turned into a random hullabaloo of, it's okay. But that's 4 races down. I did not want to do this race again, thank you. So let's go to the 5th and final race, and at the end of that, it will be time. So this is by far the worst track. I don't know why I saved it for last. I normally do this track first, but I made an oopsie. So here, let's, keep going forward. I think I changed the difficulty to hard because the rubber banding is actually competent now, even though I'm going like 3 times faster than this car ever did in real life. And just randomly going around walls and going way faster than, we're supposed to go to. It's a good game. It's good design. It's great design. Do. We go around that wall. Okay. Yeah, that wall right there is incredibly difficult to drive around because you could hit it just perfectly and T-bone directly into it, and you're stuck 90 degrees to the wall, and since we have no reverse, you just can't do anything. But we bounce straight backwards, and, that's fine. This is another one of those. We cannot stop. Oh, did you see that glorious clipping there, audience? This is a quality game where your car just straight up disappears when going around corners. Because, it's 3D objects interacting with each other on a Game Boy Advance. It just does not know what to do. Like, hats off for the technical achievements of this game. It's pretty daggone amazing that you got 3D, real 3D on a Game Boy Advance. But dear Lord, did there need to be more quality control. And that's time, by the way. Time. Thank you very much. That is the end of the run. That race went a whole lot faster than it normally did, so that makes up for the industrial race being such a random hullabaloo. But thank you all, and I hope that you enjoyed Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed on the Game Boy Advance, despite all of our technical difficulties. I guess we'll be handing it back to Tiny Tim, your wonderful host, and thank you all for having me. Have a great day.